Good evening. How are we doing? Hello. 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 Fuck Donald Trump. Hello. Fuck ICE. Hello. Fuck you for voting for Donald Trump. Hello. Happy Tuesday. Hello. Everybody get a partner. Find a seat. Last game at Bill's old stadium. Right on. Yes, the CPP voted itself out of existence actually yesterday. Hello. Hello. Welcome. Enter. Uh, yeah, it's been a week. Do you ever eat tacos? All the time. Just, I mean, I don't do them on camera. I don't eat on camera. Like you guys don't. You guys aren't tuning in to watch me eat tacos. You know what I mean? How's Renee and the family? We've been better. Been better. I'll tell you that much right fucking now. Been better. Good fucking evening, Tom and chat. Stephen Miller is going to run Venezuela. All my animals are fine. Thank you for asking. Dia de Reyes here in Puerto Rico. What is Dia de Reyes, if you don't mind me asking? Do tell. Oh, what I said, been better? Do tell that. Oh, let's see. Mom's Renee's aunt, her mom's sister went to the hospital. I don't know if it was Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, unresponsive, and sat in the hospital until this past Saturday when she passed. Renee's currently down at her uncle's, helping him sort out, like their finances and bills and all of that stuff. And then today we learned that her uncle on her father's side, her father's brother, is going to be put on hospice this week. Just a bitch of a start to the year so far. Listen, I'm sure it's going to be a good year and everybody's going to bounce back, but it's a gnarly start to the year. So, it is not snowing. It is in the 40s with a slight drizzle. It's going to be in the 40s tomorrow, then it's going to be in the 50s, and then it's going to drop back down into the 20s for the weekend. Thank you, bud. Think you're wrong. Your throat? You've been working on throat exercises? This week has felt like a month. It kind of has. It kind of has. We did all the normal holiday stuff. Renee was dealing with, so that aunt and uncle, the aunt that passed, they live about 4, maybe 5 hours away, southern Illinois, and so she was dealing with everything over the phone, and then she went down to southern Illinois in between Christmas and then celebrating another Christmas with our family from southern Indiana that came up, and then she was going to go right back down after that Christmas, and she passed while we were celebrating that Christmas. So, I got told by a MAGA Republican today referring to Democrats, it's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. Right? The fucking irony of that coming out of a Trumper's mouth. And then in all of the fucking chaos and bullshit and all of the, everything that you're dealing with the holidays and passing and all of that stuff, I forgot to register for our son's freshman classes of high school. So I had to send a letter to the person in charge of that today going, yep, fuck that one up, my bad. What do we need to do to fix this? Franklin is not with me. Prediction on Bears Packers. Flip a coin at this point in time. If past is prologue, if history has taught us anything, it's that the Packers are going to come into Soldier Field and take care of business. And I'm just here to tell you, if that happens, holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit if that happens. If the Packers go into Soldier Field and beat the Chicago Bears after the year that the Chicago Bears just had, this town is going to fucking implode. Brazil, how you doing? Not a fan of either. A 29-year-old lady, I got her number. What the fuck? Hi, Jacqueline. Bettors don't think the Bears have much of a chance in the playoffs. Well, here's the deal. They've lost 2 straight heading into the playoffs. They finished that last game on a very sour note, and it's just a bad time to have a downward momentum and going into a playoff game against a division rival that has historically owned you. You know what I mean? Who's the Republican that died? He's a member of the House of Representatives representing a district in Northern California. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he passed away at the age of 65. So things got even tighter for the Republicans in the House. Are you pink? How you fell about Joe Burrow? I don't feel nothing about Joe Burrow. April 28th, 1945. Google it. Why don't you just tell me what it is so I don't have to sit here and try and Google it? I don't have it in me tonight, man. I just don't have it in me tonight. Do you think Garrett deserves the recognition for the most sacks when it took him 17 games? I mean, yeah, he's got the most sacks in a season. Conley, hello. Yeah, Joe Burrow, yes. I'm smoking that good stuff, Tom. Hope you're doing good. It's, I'm there. I'm there, man. Do you see Indiana ever turning blue or at least purple? No. No, there's only 6 million people, 6.2, 6.5 million people in the state of Indiana, and they are a majority red. The city of Indianapolis is not a big city. Keep talking, see where it gets you, buddy. It's going to get me right here on my channel, buddy. Oh, Indianapolis would have to grow exponentially. There's like 6.5 million people in the state of Indiana, and like less than 1 million of them live in Indianapolis. Indianapolis would have to explode in population for it to have the same effect on that state as Chicago does on Illinois or that Atlanta does on Georgia. It would have to explode in population. Was my rooster okay in the wind? No, fell over many times. Does Ohio ever go blue again? I don't think so. Thank you for the $20 donation, Bumble, who says, just wanted to say I love your videos. They've been helping me get through a hard time. I lost my grandfather 4 months ago to cancer, and you remind me a lot of him. Keep going. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm sorry that you're going through that hard time. Um, it is the shits. It's what my wife is going through right now. Have you ever seen the federal prison in Terre Haute? I've seen the one in, oh, what is that? It's on 41, considerably further south than Terre Haute, south of south of Sullivan, like sort of in between Sullivan and Vicksburg. I can't, Carlisle, I think it is. Why do you think the more populated the city, the more blue it gets? Because diversity tends to equal liberalism. Diversity, the more diverse a crowd gets, the more liberal it gets, the more it doesn't mind living among people that are different than themselves, uh, the more they want art and culture and things like that. Yeah, the more people you tend to get in a given area, the more liberal that area becomes. Trump is about 80s. Do you think the Venezuelan president will walk away free? Don't know. Doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is whether or not we are going to accept a world in which we can do shit like this. I have the end of days is just, with all due respect, in my opinion, dumb as shit. I love how when you drive into Linton, Indiana, they have a giant banner that says "You'll like Linton." Great advertisement. Yep, it's been there forever. I mean, they've updated it a few times. I think they have it actually on both sides. But definitely when you come in from the west side, there's that big green banner as soon as you go over the tracks. Why would Trump invade Greenland? Because he's a piece of shit. Whatever happened to that narcissistic neighbor that was messing around with the neighbor next to you, if I may ask? I still see him, but his pickup truck has been gone for like a few months now. I don't know if him and his wife are just down to one car because they are getting older, or if there was a financial issue or what. But his truck has been gone forever, and he's he's still there, so I see him. Oh, you're a Dem. Yes, I am a Democrat. I am a center left Democrat. I don't want to sound creepy or weird or anything, but I just was curious, what car do you drive? Nothing specific about it, just the model and year. Thank you. I don't care. I've talked about it in many videos. I drive a 2021 Jeep Cherokee. Did anyone hear that Kristi Noem announced today America is going to start welcoming in Venezuelans? Yeah, yeah. It is. They didn't give a shit. It's about money. Do you know anyone with the last Daniels? Do I know anybody in my town with the last name of Daniels? Yes, I do. I don't like Jeeps, but I've owned a few. We all own Jeeps. I own a 21 Jeep Cherokee. My daughter Magnolia owns a 21 Jeep Cherokee. My wife Renee owns a 2019 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and our daughter Lily owns a 2015 Jeep Renegade. Thoughts on Charlie? I don't know if I know Charlie Daniels. I'm seeing a ton of Jeeps for sale. Makes me wonder why. I don't know. We love them. We swear by them. They've done nothing but good for us. Nothing but good. Do you agree with what happened to Maduro? No, I don't. No. Do I think that Maduro was a good person? No, I don't. But there are a lot of bad people running countries around the world. Why are we invading this country and deposing this dictator at this time? Like, what's the purpose? Seems to me to be a couple of fold. Venezuela was mentioned something like 18 times in Project 2025. They want to go into Venezuela because Venezuela has the largest oil reserves on the planet and one of the largest lithium reserves. The mineral rights, the resources is what they want. I think the plan was to go into Venezuela all along, but with the expedited release of the Epstein files, I think that they moved it up and he just said, fuck it, we're going in. And now we're talking about Maduro and Venezuela, and we're not talking about the Epstein files. But I think that they did eventually want to go into Venezuela. I think it's illegal for them to do so. And they shouldn't have done so, but I think it's a precursor to a larger military operation in South America and the Caribbean, because they've already talked about how they're going to go into Cuba next, and I have absolutely no doubt that they're going to go into Cuba. And if they have a prolonged presence within Venezuela, I can easily see them also going into Colombia, another drug country that has rich minerals, and then they could use the drug trafficking out of Colombia as an excuse to invade Colombia, which is right next door to Venezuela. Now they own that northern tip of South America, and if they have Colombia, they're on the border of what? Panama, the country he already talked about wanting to invade in order to recapture the Panama Canal. So he takes over Venezuela. He moves into Colombia. He's knocking on the door of Panama. We invade Cuba. We are once again destabilizing Latin American countries, and we're planting our flag across Latin America. What if he does this and this? He's not. It's not a what if. He's doing it. He's deposed the leader of Venezuela. He said, we're running Venezuela. He called Venezuelan oil our oil. He said the oil companies are going to go into Venezuela and rebuild the infrastructure to increase productivity. And if they can't cover the cost, we will reimburse them with U.S. tax dollars. It's not a fucking what if. It's happening right now. Marco Rubio and Lindsey Graham said it's all but a done deal that we're going into Cuba. Donald Trump is threatening the president of Colombia. These are not what ifs. Fucking what if? God damn you fucking people. Where the fuck do you people come from? Seriously. From under what fucking rock do you fucking people crawl? You people that will bend over backwards and twist your fucking nuts into a goddamn pretzel in order to defend this piece of shit. Where did I come from? Your mom's bed. Tell her I said hi. Nobody gave a fuck, Jim. Nobody gave a fuck about Venezuela until Trump started talking about Venezuela. Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody gave a fuck about Greenland until Donald Trump started talking about Greenland. And you want to know what's going to happen there? I'll tell you what's going to happen there. The beginning of World War III is what's going to happen there. Think about what's going on in Europe right now. The European Union is defending one of its allies, Ukraine, against Russian invasion from the Eastern Front. Donald Trump attacks our European allies and defends Putin at every turn, and now says he wants to go into Greenland. What is Greenland? A territory of Denmark. What is Denmark? A NATO nation. What does NATO have? They have a rule that says an attack on one is an attack on all. So if Donald Trump goes into Greenland, which they're amping up the rhetoric on going into Greenland, and goes in with the military, then European Union nations are going to have to send some troops to Greenland to fight the United States there, because that's what NATO is. So if Donald Trump invades Greenland, what he does is he splits European Union forces between the Eastern Front, where they're already giving weapons to Ukraine, and Ukraine is still struggling against an invading European Russian army, and European soldiers are going to have to fight in Greenland against the United States. So once again, the Europeans will find themselves fighting collectively against two superpowers Once again, Russia, only this time it'll be Russia and the United States, not Russia and Japan. That's fucking crazy. Does Article 5 not exist? Is Donald Trump not threatening to invade a NATO nation? Is Europe not under attack already by Putin? Can I hear myself talk? Yeah, asshole, I can hear myself talk. You know who I can't hear talk anymore, though? You, because I just muted you. So why don't you fucking pound sand, fuckstick? What about America being in NATO? How would this go? Just how I said, if America attacks Greenland, every other NATO nation is going to have to defend Denmark in Greenland. The only nation that's not going to step up and defend is Russia. So European Union countries are going to be fighting against Russia in the east and America in the west, and we're going to be right back into a fucking world war. You know, everything the MAGA chud said was going to happen if Obama stayed in office, if Hillary got elected, if Kamala got elected, told us it was going to happen when Biden got elected. They're all going to get us into World War III. Never happened. What's going on with Donald Trump? He's literally threatening to attack a NATO ally. Why aren't people seeing this? You've been told to shut up for 6 months? What is this? Who's been telling you to shut up for 6 months? It amazes me people are still blaming Biden for all this. Well, think about what he's blaming. He's blaming Biden for a piss poor economy while simultaneously telling you that the economy is the best it's ever been. I mean, it's mind-numbing. Absolutely mind-numbing. And then idiots like that guy that I just blocked a minute ago will figure out a way to defend that stupidity. Are you in Will or Grundy? Will. How is Greenland going to increase our security? It's not. It's not. Donald Trump wants to be the last president to have expanded the United States' physical footprint on the globe. He wants to be the last president to say he added territory, he added land to the United States. Greenland, Panama Canal, Cuba, Venezuela, fucking Gaza Strip, name Canada, Mexico. The economy is not the worst I've ever experienced, but it certainly isn't the best. It's not a thriving economy, I don't think. We just set a record for the amount of money spent on Black Friday shopping. You hear that and you think that's a good thing. Americans are spending more than ever before on Christmas. But we spent that record amount of money on Black Friday shopping, but we got fewer items. So the cost of everything was more expensive. That's why we spent more. We actually bought less physical items on Black Friday, but we spent more money. Have you ever hung out with any of your viewers? I've hung out with some mutuals of mine. Yeah. And people spent on Black Friday trying to save money. Yes. Yes. And they got less after spending more. Donald Trump only looks at it and says, look, we spent the most ever on Black Friday. But we got fewer things, man. We got fewer fucking things. That's not good. That's not good. I was there in Panama in December, January 89. Younger generations know their future is bad. No, we haven't, Conley. It would be cool to meet you. You're in Livingston. Can you rip the guitar? Don't know how. Never learned how to play. Hang up my 25 or 625 sign. No, I have them right here. We were just talking about it because I hung up a plaque with the Illinois and Indiana on it here, and I've got it right here. This guy right here that says, Where did he go? Screw Louis 440. He makes these things. These are these metal license plates. This is backwards, I know, but these are license plate frames. 25 or 624, and then he made me this one. Even though it's backwards, I'm sure you can read it. How is this guy allowed to do this? How is what guy allowed to do what? Are these going to be territories or states? I have no idea. I have no idea. Thank you, Sean and Robin. Appreciate that. Learn CCR on the guitar. I'm not going to learn how to play the guitar anytime soon. Trump. Okay. Howdy. Howdy back at you. Could invading Greenland end the Trump administration? You would think damn near anything would end the Trump administration that you've seen, but it just keeps going. I could pick any one of a few dozen catastrophes from his first administration and this one that would end any other presidency. So who the fuck knows? I know a guy that used to make license plates too. It was in Statesville. Okay, so it was kind of a mandatory license plate program. Gotcha. What the hell did I miss? No, the guy who said Trump wasn't just saying Trump. He was answering my question. He said, "How can this guy get away with this?" And I said, "What guy?" And he answered Trump. He's not just coming in to say Trump. He's not a Trumper. I asked because at that point it'd be, yes, it would be. It should trigger Article 5. And if it triggers Article 5, that's World War III. I know you're very anti-Trump, but could you think of at least one thing Trump has been good in your opinion? Yeah, he funded historically black colleges and universities. He signed the bill to make animal cruelty a felony. He fuck. I'm sorry, I just had it to tip of my tongue. He's actually done a few things. He banned bump stocks, for example. But no, he hasn't done much that's right. He hasn't done much that's good. Economically, he's been a disaster. From a foreign policy standpoint, he's been a disaster. From a national security standpoint, he's been a disaster. From a domestic policy, he's been a disaster. I mean, he has completely fucked the farming industry, the agricultural industry in this country twice. He doesn't have any redeeming qualities. No. He is an absolute abhorrent excuse for a human being. Just pure fucking scum. The world will be a better place once his inevitable passing occurs. How did he fuck the ag industry? He took away their market the first time around. Then they started selling to that market again under Joe Biden, and then he took it away again. I know, my trucks pull these agricultural commodities. That's what we haul every fucking day. And what Donald Trump did was he took away the Chinese market for the American soybean farmers, which we haul an assload of. And American soybean farmers couldn't sell their products to China. That was 25% of their fucking of their exports. And we produce the most soybeans of any fucking nation on the planet. You want to know who is selling soybeans to them? Brazil, certain Central American countries. In Chicago, we had yesterday off across all school days for professional development day. Did the kids in your town and Shanahan have the same thing? Yes, my son returned to school for the first time today after the Christmas break. It gave the teachers an opportunity to get back into the classroom and kind of go through some shit and set some shit up and prepare for that second half of the year without the kids being, all over them. The tariffs killed the farmers. It's still killing the farmers. It's killing the farmers when it comes to the price of the products and the equipment that they need to service their farms. Yep, most of those farmers are still MAGA, and that's why I don't feel bad if listen, farms should be in the hands of individual farm families, not corporations. But if you continuously vote against your own best interest, if you vote for this guy and he puts on tariffs and takes away your Asian market, and your farm suffers, and then you bounce back under a Democratic president, and then you vote for him again and he does the same fucking thing to you, then you deserve to lose your farm. I don't fucking care if you lose your family farm. It's been in my family for 5 generations. Then you shouldn't have fucking voted for the guy who was going to destroy it. Oh, a vast majority of farmers are Trump supporting Republicans. A vast majority. Don't get me wrong, they're not all Republicans or MAGA, but a lot of them are. What about Mickey Rourke? That's kind of out of left field. He's nuttier than a shithouse rat. That's what about him. Ever heard of Paul Lance? Somebody was talking about him in a live the other day. Oh, Brandon Fusco said the bad word. We're going to give you a break, but you can't say Amish again. That's the bad word. JD Delay, what does he do? You just rolled a doob? I just got through myself. Why is that a bad word? Oh, that goes back to a few years ago when I was doing regular lives over on TikTok instead of YouTube. I don't even remember how it started. If I'm being completely honest with you, all I know it was a standing rule. You couldn't say the word Amish or you got blocked. You got banished from the live. And my moderators on TikTok, they fucking no, those are not pre-rolls. Those are cones. I packed those. My moderators would fucking hit you in a heartbeat. No, none of that Amish shit. So people that would come into my live would start referring to them as like Pennsylvania Dutch religious folks or some shit. Donald Trump is Emperor Palpatine. That might be an insult to Emperor Palpatine. That's hitting nice. You know what I mean? That's hitting nice. There used to be a guy that called him Pumpkin Spice Palpatine. Good evening, Tom and chat. That is, that's it. Now I have to go to the shed. Oh, you got to go to the shed to smoke? Am I high? Is a frog's ass watertight? Don't become beans, Tom. You'll get quite baked there. I'm already there, champ. That thing is hitting noise. Noise. You're out right now? Don't worry. I have plenty for the both of us. I do, too. I have. This is what I have. This is what I have. And that stuff is hitting. That stuff is hitting. You know what I mean? I have a pretty simple question. Will there ever be a chance for a third party candidate that could take the reins in the near future? In the near future, no. If you want a third party candidate to have a chance, what needs to happen is one of the two parties needs to splinter into two. Such a splintering should, at some point in time, then force a splintering of the other side. Hopefully. I don't know. You'll sleep good tonight, says my wife. Hopefully. Tired. I haven't even done the fucking dishes yet. I did the videos, and I only did enough for tomorrow. I did the videos, ran them through AI, did the thumbnails, and got them all scheduled before going live. And so tomorrow I'll do enough for, what the fuck is tomorrow? Wednesday. I'll do enough for Thursday, and then Thursday I'll do enough for Friday and Saturday. And then Thursday I got to get him to the doctor too, or you can get him to the doctor. One of us has to get him to the doctor for his sports physical. Yeah, third parties always almost become viable, but they never actually hit at any point in time. What is that? Do you think they will ever let DoorDash and Uber Eats deliver cannabis? I guess my follow-up question to that before my question in return of that, in reply of that, I guess. Do they currently deliver alcohol? I don't know if they do or do not, but can you get alcohol delivered through DoorDash and Uber Eats? Yes. Then yes, they will eventually. I can easily see them eventually. Because here's the deal. When Prohibition was overturned and people could drink again, you know, it wasn't everywhere immediately, and there was still a black market. Kind of like now that they've legalized marijuana on the state level in multiple states. There's still a thriving black market, and it's not everywhere. It's getting there, but it's not everywhere. In time, what will happen to marijuana is what happened to alcohol, and it'll become more and more available and more commonplace and more acceptable. And yeah, then it probably will be delivered by places like Uber Eats and DoorDash the way alcohol is now, as it becomes more accessible and acceptable from a social standpoint. Do you get yours at the Morris dispensary? I get a little bit from the dispensary in Joliet, and then I still have a guy. It's going to be based on each state/commonwealth. Yeah, even if it goes legal federally, states will still put heavy restrictions on the state level. You'll see more red states, obviously, than blue states do this. But if it became federally legalized, states would then begin to regulate it within each state. bathtub gin during the Depression. Right on. Too expensive, though. I'm not tipping for weed delivery. Yeah, that would get kind of carried away. I can get almost anything delivered to my door. I bet if I worked hard enough, I could get damn near anything delivered to my front door. Yeah. I mean, these days you can get food delivered to your door. You can get alcohol delivered to your door. You can get groceries and like pantry supplies delivered to your door. You can get your pet meds delivered to your door. Um, you can get your own medications delivered to your door. Marijuana is probably going to be something that gets delivered to your door soon. Obviously, you can have a weapon shipped to your door. Walmart is going to start selling weed. Yeah, Lord only knows as it becomes more and more acceptable where you're going to be able to buy it. Do you still freehand roll? No, now I use raw cones. What the fuck was this? You think you know what good food is until you've had green chili cheeseburger in New Mexico. You don't know shit. My man is leaning in hard to the green chili cheeseburgers. Great value doobies. Already have door delivery of pot. Interesting. Have you ever had hash oil? Yes. When Walmart starts selling weed, it's going to be the worst quality. Oh, God, can you imagine? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Excuse me. Your dispensaries have coupons. Ours have sales. I don't know if they have coupons per se, but they're always doing sales. Sorry. Once Tom hits his 70s, his trucks will be hauling weed instead of. No, dude, if I have trucks when I'm in my 70s, I'm going to be hitting myself. Okay? Yeah. If I have trucks when I'm in my 60s, if I have trucks when I'm 54, and I'm going to be 54 in a few months. Oh, I grew weed back in the day. Yeah, I know how to grow weed. I don't feel like doing it right now. It's so readily available. You know what I mean? Can't wait until Dollar Tree sells weed. Love the channel. Thank you very much. Happy pre-birthday. Thank you very much. It's not until May, but thank you very much. I don't know if you guys saw my video yet about how fucking crazy May is for my wife and I, but here's our May 2026, all right? Pay attention, focus. Hit the blunt if you need to. Friday, May 1st, my wife and I head out and see comedian Tom Papa live. 6 days later, we celebrate our 27th wedding anniversary on the 7th. 3 days after that is Mother's Day. 3 days after that is my 54th birthday. 3 days after that is our daughter's 25th birthday. A week after that is Memorial Day weekend, and somewhere in there, that daughter who's turning 25 is going to give birth to our third grandchild. Yeah, that's our May. My birthday, our daughter's birthday, Mother's Day, our wedding anniversary, and now a grandchild's birthday. But that's how it literally. May 1st, we go to see a comedy show. May 7th is our wedding anniversary. Thank you for the $10. I am horrified. Trump hits Greenland, could start World War III. Exactly. Exactly. May 1st, the comedy show. May 7th, our wedding anniversary. May 10th, Mother's Day. May 13th, my birthday. May 16th, her birthday. A week later, Memorial Day weekend. And and my son graduates. Our son graduates 8th grade. Fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Yes, I'm going to be going to see AC/DC in September. If I fucking make it that long. June through July recovery? Question mark. No, no. June, Father's Day. Um, Early July. So June we have Father's Day, and we have a couple of birthdays, I believe. Uh, and then early July, uh, I fly to New York City with my wife, our daughter Lily, and our nephew because my wife, our nephew, and our daughter are going to go see Bon Jovi in his first show since 2023 at Madison Square Garden. I'm just kind of going to be their tour guide in New York City. So early July, we're going to New York City. We come back. We have a short period of time to rest, do some laundry, and then late July, we fly down to Miami to get on a fucking cruise ship to head to Mexico, Honduras, and Belize. Upon returning in late July, in early August, we move our daughter back into college at UIC for her senior year there. Then our son begins his freshman year, and then it's my wife's birthday, and then we roll into September. September kind of calms down a little bit. The end of September, we have our daughter Lily's birthday, but for the most part, September seems relatively calm. And then we roll into the Burr months, and then we're right back into fucking Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it's fucking crazy that I'm saying that because we just came out of the fucking New Year's, and holy shit, 26 is already fucking packed. How did that happen? Jose, Life on Mars. Thank you for the $10 donation. Thought of the day. Today's fact, tomorrow's fiction, leave the rest to superstition. If knowledge comes from reading books, wisdom comes from discerning looks. My man out here just like spitting rhymes and fairy tales. Listen to this, man. He's sounding like one of those little hobbits with the witch hat on. I'm going to be in court the first half of the year, and my grandfather is going on hospice this weekend. I'm sorry to hear that. Renee is currently dealing with a very similar situation. Her aunt on her mom's side, her mother's sister, went into the hospital around Christmas and passed on Saturday. That's where she's at. They're all trying to help my uncle kind of sort through everything, and then another one of her uncles, her father's brother, that they just learned is going to be going on hospice this week. Steve, take it easy. You just lived all of 2026 in 60 seconds. I'm trying to tell you, dude. I'm fucking aging in front of you. I'm aging in front of you. It's January 6th, and I'm looking at 2026 going, wait, do we have some time off anywhere? What the fuck? AAH, thank you very much for the $10 donation. It's going to help greatly with the insane month of May we have coming up. Somebody says, I love Bon Jovi. Sorry for your loss. I'm an 80s baby. Thank you all very much, by the way. January 6th, all Christmas Day tomorrow. It's supposed to be over. I went to Mighty Taco when I was in Buffalo over the weekend. Mighty Taco. is a Buffalo taco chain. I shared your video. What is this? Shared your video. Never forget. Yes, thank you very much. Sorry to hear about your wife. Yeah, she's going through some stuff. Brian Fisher, thank you very much for the donation. Anyone know why so many USA warplanes and AC-130 gunships arriving in UK RAF, the US base in England? Are we on exercise? Who the fuck knows? Probably having something to do with Greenland, right? 2026 is the year of milestone birthdays in our house. 18th, 50th, and 13th. That was this last year for us. Renee turned 50. Her mom turned 70. Lily turned 21. You look so mellow because I am decently buzzed. It is tasty. Thank you, Pam. You can't afford to have kids, too expensive. They are not cheap. They are not cheap. But then again, nothing is. Yeah, I heard Michael Reagan died. He is the oldest son of Ronald Reagan, for anybody that's wondering. Looking a little buzzed there, Tom. That's because I'm a little buzzed there, Steve. Yeah, I heard Reagan's oldest son passed. What did he pass from? Does anybody know? Who's Michael Reagan? He's Ronald Reagan's oldest son, former President Ronald Reagan. Everything gets more expensive. Everything gets more expensive. Everything gets more expensive. You're going to be 26 in February. Plenty of time, but I also realize I have to rush to catch up. Any advice to Gen Zers? Hang on. Jose, thank you for the $5 donation. No God, just a clever man charade. Once upon a fairy tale, such fraud, God, man, or man-made God. Man-made God. Do I have any advice for Gen Zers? I mean, the first thing I always tell everybody is stop taking advice from people on social media, online. Because you don't know anybody. You don't know me. You think you know me, but you don't, right? Because I show you what I want. Hey, thank you for the $10 donation. Just got a great job, 3 months unemployed, thrilled. Hey, then save your money, man. Seriously. Do I have any advice? Yeah. Do what you want now. You're Gen Z, so you're in your 20s. Are any Gen Zers in their early 30s? I doubt it. You guys are predominantly in your 20s, right? Do what you want now. Don't think that you're going to have time to go to the places you want to go to and do the things you want to do when you're in your 50s. I'll work now, save my money, and then when I'm in my 50s, I'll have the plenty of money to go. Don't do that. Do what you want to do now. Do what feels right. Don't take advice from people that, did it the same way that every other generation did it. Right, maybe we did it wrong. We went hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt and worked our whole fucking life. Maybe that's not the right move. Maybe go live in a fucking yurt for a while. I don't know. What do you want to do? Do that. Figure out what you want to do instead of what you have to do. There's my advice. Aliens would lock their doors if they flew by Earth? Yep. Is theocracy a type of fascism? Yep. Learn a craft, start a business? Yep. Just loitering? Oops, listening? Amen. Thank you, Fritz, with the 20. I appreciate it, brother. You can have fun learning skills. Yeah, I figured out what I had to do. Don't figure out what you want to do. And then life is going to be more fun. Maybe you become a bazillionaire, maybe you don't. But you know what? If you're doing what you want to do, it doesn't matter if you become a bazillionaire. You know what I mean? If you're doing what you want to do, then the happiness will kind of work itself out almost. Because you don't have the stresses of a job and a career and all of that shit. And if you want to fucking convert a school bus and kind of figure out, you're good at graphic design, so you're going to freelance graphic design through Fiverr and live in a fucking school bus and travel around the country, do it. The fuck? Do it. What the fuck not? I did. Sounds like we got storms moving in. What's up, OG? Motherfucker out here calling me the OG. I mean, I'm old, but I'm not so old that I'm the OG. I've done a lot of traveling and will be doing a lot more. Right on. Hey, you miss those kicks? You miss those kicks, man. You got to fucking own that shit, and it sucks and it stings, but a whole bunch of motherfuckers have missed kicks for a whole lot of really important games. Average first-time home buyer is now age 40. See, that's fucking crazy. You guys have got to tell every single person you know to watch my videos, please. Share them. Get them to follow the page. We got to blow this thing up to $1 million so I can make enough money so I can comfortably help all of my kids get into houses. You bought your first house at 22? I did not buy my first house at 22. I was living in a tent at 22, literally. Are we back now? Seems to be that we froze up. Can you see me? Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? Are we back? We're back. Okay. What I was saying was, with all due respect to anybody that's from the state of Ohio, because somebody had mentioned Ohio before we froze up there. Ohio is a fucking hellhole, and they should move the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame out of Ohio. They should move the Football Hall of Fame out of Ohio, and they should move the house from A Christmas Story out of the state of Ohio, and then they should wall off the state of Ohio and turn it into a free-range prison farm with cameras everywhere that run 24 hours a day on a pay-per-view station. We'll pay down the national debt by watching the insanity that unfolds inside the walls of Ohio. Fuck Ohio and everything it stands for. Ohio is the Florida of the Midwest. Ohio is the meth cousin to America's drunk uncle. It is a boil on the ass of the American society. Fuck Ohio. And if I could be even more specific, instead of having it from a macro level, if I could bring it down to a micro level, fuck Ohio State. Fuck everybody that's ever gone to Ohio State. Fuck everybody that works at Ohio State. Fuck everybody that's eventually going to attend Ohio State. Fuck the vendors that work with Ohio State and provide them with like school supplies and janitorial services and shit like that. Fuck every single thing to do with Ohio State. If it's got Ohio State Buckeyes to do with it, just put it in a bucket and let it go fuck off. I guess I'm going to put a bow on this. conversation, if I was going to boil this down to just one succinct thought, fuck Ohio. So glad Indiana beat Ohio State this year. Right. Oh my God. Oh my God. Beat Ohio State for the Big Ten championship. You could fucking cut glass with my nips. Are you kidding me? That's spectacular. Jose, thank you again for the $10 tip. As a Gen Xer, speaking to our Gen Zers, try every day to live your life on your own terms, because the longer you wait to try, the less likely you are to succeed. Absolutely. Truer words. Will you be vacationing in Ohio anytime soon, Tom? Negative, Ghost Rider. Negative. Yes, Hawk knows my thoughts on Ohio. Hawk knows. Have you ever eaten at a Perkins restaurant? Perkins is the shit. I fucking love Perkins. If there is one national chain that I wish could come to the Chicagoland area, it would be Perkins. I fucking dig some Perkins. Yes, I've eaten at a Perkins. Perkins is fucking amazing. I love Perkins. Dig some Perkins. Need some Perkins. Now that you mentioned Perkins, I want fucking Perkins. Why the fuck did you bring up Perkins? There isn't a fucking Perkins within like a few hour drive of me. You fucking prick bringing up Perkins. Fuck you. Don't ever do that to me again. The fuck? The unmitigated sack on this guy. You saw Perkins in Niagara Falls, Ontario last night? Fuck. I'll tell you what. If there's one chain that I'd like to see come back to the Chicagoland area before Perkins, and that's Fuddruckers. The motherfuckers pulled up stakes and left. Don't you know? The closest motherfucking Fuddruckers to me is in Ohio. Oh. So wrong. So wrong. What about Culver's? I had Culver's tonight. Had a double cheeseburger from Culver's. There's a Fuddruckers in the Detroit metro area. Thing about that is I ain't anywhere close to the Detroit metro area. What's up? My THC levels. Used to have a Fuddruckers here in San Diego, which I believe is Spanish for a whale's vagina. And they went out of business, got replaced with a panini place. That's insult to injury. That's not good. There's a Fuddruckers in Puerto Rico. Well, shit. Let me just get on that. Maybe by the time I get down to Florida, they will have begun the construction of that bridge. Y'all got In-N-Out? I don't know if we have any In-N-Out. Like 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, we started getting Sonic drive-ins back, and there's a handful of those around. Here recently, within the last year, we got the first half dozen Jack in the Boxes back. But I don't think there's an In-N-Out. We have Five Guys. Oh, I fucking love jambalaya. I've never eaten Five Guys. Why the fuck do people say hi? I don't know. They're just saying hi, I guess. I think what it is there's like a button you could press to like say hi, and it types it out for you. New Orleans has fantastic food. Fuck yeah, they do. Do you have White Castle? Yeah, we have White Castle. Is Columbus the worst city in the Midwest? No. Come on. You ever been through Gary? Jesus fucking Christ. Gary, Indiana is. Yeah. What happened to the football player who strangled his chef? I don't know. Did you get your oil you wanted today? What oil are you talking about? Gary, Indiana is not going to be home to the Bears. That's not going to happen. They're not going to Indiana. Shrimp, melted butter, Cajun sauce, sausage. You got what? Some andouille sausage, chicken, rice, peppers. Nice. What are your thoughts on Marjorie Taylor Greene leaving Congress yesterday? Good fucking riddance. But she got what she wanted. Her net worth went up by millions of dollars. She never had to give up her rather lucrative construction company that was handed down to her by her father, that is still operating in Rome, Georgia. Her net worth went up by millions of dollars, and she stayed in long enough to get a lifetime pension. Now she gets to get out of this fucking chaos, not be tied to this insanity, go back to Rome, Georgia, live a very comfortable life with her extraordinarily successful construction company and her millions of dollars and her lifetime pension on our tax dollars. Thoughts on Montana? It's up there. The best city in the U.S. is Dallas. That is going to be your little secret. Crazy how people are just born on third base. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. You had an interest in Montana since playing a video game? Okay. Dallas, Fort Worth is average at best. Yeah, I can name a shit ton of cities I've been to that's better than Dallas. That it's more exciting than Dallas. Are we nervous to babysit the new grandson? No, no. I'm talking about the overall scene, man. Too many people moving to Montana. Go to Colorado, it's better. Ain't nobody talking about Wyoming. They're kind of in between there. What about that? Yeah, I was going to say Trump is definitely not one of those people that was born on third base. He was born with a much better advantage than just being on third base. Being on third base would indicate that Donald Trump would need to put in some form of work in order to get to home plate and become a success. But he was just given all of that. It was given. If you. Well, we're going to say this and then we're going to wrap up because it's 10 minutes after 8 and I need to go put my feet up. If I was given the opportunities, financially speaking, that Donald Trump was given, nobody in my family, my bloodline, would have to work for generations. So, guys, thank you very much. I'm exhausted. I'm going to go put my feet up. Hasta lasagna. Don't get any on you.